Just tell queer stories instead of putting queer characters in everything. Whatever happened to good stories about queer people on TV? Like Noah's Ark, which broke ground as the first all-POC, all-queer cast on a show. While there has been a large number of LGBTQ+ shows in recent years, such as Pose, L Word, Generation Q, and others, many other of the storylines in the shows just squeeze them in just to have a queer character. And just like that, decided Miranda was going to be queer. Apparently because she was drunk? The morning show shows Reese Witherspoon going lesbian in a moment that would make sense as being called the casting couch if her character didn't already have the job, but made even less sense as an actual romance. Even Rue in Euphoria seemed like her romance was rushed. We love seeing queer storylines in shows, but let's hope we start seeing more actual storylines instead of characters being pushed into queer situations that just don't seem natural. I think this is really important because us as queer youth should have some solid representation in our TV shows because this is what we're watching growing up. So things like the L Word, Generation Q, and like even Euphoria, they have trans characters, they have queer characters, but it's important to make it fit correctly instead of just forcing it in just to say that they have a queer character.
Yeah. Oh, CJ?
I think it's extremely important to have unique representation and not cliche representation, not making a gay character just loud and do makeup because that's what's viewed on them. It's important to make unique characters that represent the community because each of us are unique.
I agree. It should be organic. I think that with TV shows and movies, all of it, it should be really it should be a real representation of our community. I mean, we're just regular people, you know what I mean? But we all have unique stories, and that's something that needs to be amplified. And I think that shows and channels and producers should be wary of that coming in the future.
I agree with all of you guys. I'm sick and tired of seeing like queer characters getting put into TV shows and then the next season they like kill them off or they just get rid of them and it's like their story never even mattered. Like all of the other characters suddenly just forgot this person existed for some reason. Right. And like it's tiring because like you finally get an attachment to a character. You're like, oh my God, I relate to you. You're like me. And then just like they're gone.
It's the bury gay trope and a lot of other tropes, and that's why it's important to follow a by and for model. If you're making things for a community or about a community, they should also be made by that community as well, and that's extremely important.
LGBTQ+ news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBT